back to Enduro Evolution, and in this video we're going to replace this top end. I'm going to start by doing a compression test to see where our compression's at, and then we'll go from there. I'll start tearing it apart. The hour meter stopped working at 60 hours, but I know I've got lots of hours on there, lots of ice riding, so lots of wide open. So I'm thinking right around 120 hours. I'm going to throw a new piston in and new exhaust flange. But to start, I'll get tearing all this apart. Alright, so you'll want to get yourself some tools, good torque wrench. So we got your top end kit here. We got the piston, the bearings, crush washers, plus we're going to install this exhaust flange. Here's our compression tester kit. Okay, so let's start taking it apart. So you're going to want to remove your seat, all that stuff. I'm not going to show you how to do that. That's pretty basic stuff. Alright, so now's a good time to blow it all off and clean it up. You don't want any dirt or anything falling into your engine, so make sure it's good and clean before you start tearing it apart. Alright guys, do a compression test. You want to take your spark plug boot off and your spark plug out. Make sure everything's clean in there. And then you'll screw in the compression tester part, a little fitting. And then hold your throttle wide open and kick it over a few times. So we checked the compression and it's sitting at about 170. That's what the book calls 175, 170. So compression's still good, but we're gonna change the piston anyway because it's over the amount of hours. So I'm gonna start tearing the rest of this apart. Update. So we got the coolant lines, radiators removed. I'm going to start taking the injectors apart, and then we'll eventually take off this vent line, take the power valve cover off, and take all that stuff apart. I can set the camera up and show you how to do that. The rest of this stuff is pretty simple. Just tear it apart. I'm putting a new hour meter on it too because I lost count of hours at 65 hours or something. The gauge stopped working. So we're going to throw a new hour meter on. Hopefully that way we can keep track of our hours a little better. So next we're going to take out these injectors. It's an 8mm socket. Undo your clips here. Take the rubber boot off. Get rid of these clips. Pull everything you don't need away from here. And then before you start unloosening any of these, I recommend cleaning all this with some contact cleaner, whatever. Just keep it all clean. The cleaner the better. So we got our bolts undone. Now when you're pulling this up, be real careful. Give her a little wiggle. Just like that. All right, there it is. Okay, so we're ready to take the head off. Loosen them in a crisscross pattern. You don't want it to warp or anything. All right, so that's a lucky 13. Oops. No, that's right. Had me scared there for a minute. Thought it was turning the wrong way. old rock. my bag around. They're all loose now. Make sure you can take them out with your fingers. Here's a little Enduro Evolution tip. Go to Uline, get yourself some 4x4 6mm bags. They're good and thick. Put whatever parts in them to keep them separated. I'm going to throw the head bolts in this one. See if they fit. So yeah, perfect for keeping your bolts all in order and everything. I don't like having a big dish of tools. It's too crazy putting everything back together. So this way, get these little bags and they'll make your life easier. I don't think it's, you get a couple. I think you get like 1,000 in a box, so you'll have a lifetime supply. Another good size is 6x8. Toolbox. There's some smaller ones too. These ones 2x4. Go ahead and spend the money on these bags. It'll make your life a lot easier. Alright, back to tearing it apart. Alright, let's pop the top, see what we got in here. See what kind of monsters are hiding in there. Might have to give her a little twack. Stack them down. There we go. Still got cross hatches on her, so that's good. Okay, now I'll take the power valve stuff apart. Alright, the covers are off. This side's looking real nice and clean. This side's looking a little scoogey. The seals are gone. The little O-rings are shot. Okay, so start taking off your cylinder nuts. Crisscross pattern again. And this thing should pop right off there. So pack that little hole full of Kleenex. And you're going to want to pop this little pin out. It's easier with two hands, obviously. I'm trying to camera, but so now that's out of the way, you can get to this last nut. Okay, so that's that. So if you drop anything into there, you're gonna have to split your case, or hopefully a magnet will pick it up out of there. But so block that off. I think I'm gonna have to take this flange saver off, so we may as well do it now. So we got the clip out of the other side. We're just gonna push this through. I'm just using an extension, tapping it. That'll get you going. Obviously hold the piston with your hand so you're not putting sideways force on it. So I'm gonna do that now. I was just kind of showing you for the camera. Alright, so that's the piston, our pin. Some dark marks. But it's better to be safe than sorry, so I'm just going to swap it out. It's factory piston. Just take your bearings out. Nice and gentle. So it's got a little side to side. Up and down is really good. There's nothing in there yet. There's no play. Side to side, I think you're allowed to have a little. So now we'll start tearing the cylinder down. So we got it took apart. I showed you the crank already. See our fix here is starting to crack. Other than that, that held up pretty good for a patch. Everything inside looks good. So we'll start taking off this. This is the power valve. This exhaust flange. Power valve's in there. Alright, so it's time to take the cylinder apart. 5mm Allen T-handle or whatever you got. Loosen that off. Alright, so after you take this out, keep all that together. Pay attention how it goes together. You can take this little plate out. Next is this retaining plate. This will take your gear. This holds your gear and your power valve in. It's a 5mm T-handle for this section with the spring. Remove this little plate. T25 Torx to remove the retaining plate here. Going in reverse. You can definitely feel there's Loctite on there. Okay, so next we'll pull out the gear. And then we'll separate each side so don't throw all this stuff together. Unless you know what you're doing. Okay, so now we're going to take these two 5mm out. Gunky. Alright, so after you got all that stuff out of there, we'll take off the exhaust flange. Oh yeah, she's on there. I don't know if you can see this. These numbers here means they're mated from the factory. So that's why I'm not sure if the new exhaust flange is going to fit correctly. This is 484 and 484, so I don't know, we'll see. We'll give her a shot anyways. If not, your option is to build this up, which, yeah, I don't know. There's options out there, but okay, she was time for a cleaning. So this side we were getting some dirty oil coming in. And you can see this seal's pooched. It's hard, it's shrunken, it doesn't even seal anymore. So that's why we were getting oil coming out of the side. Pull out all these O-rings, clean up your faces, clean everything up. We're going to get this ready and we're taking it to Andy Wells at Wells MotoWorx. He's just east of Edmonton and he's going to vapor blast it for us. I'm going to clean this thing up before it goes to him. I'm going to buff all that off. But there's the power valve. Looking a little crusty. So we're basically stripped down here. Alright, we're going to sit that in a tub and then spray down some brake clean. Here's the old flange that I busted up at Resurrection. We JB welded it and it actually held not that bad. It did start to crack here at the back though. Take this piece out and then this. These are for vent lines. We'll take that out of there so when he's blasting it. Okay, so that's 5/16. That fits perfect on there. You're going to want to take this out, clean it, run a tip cleaner through it or something. Looking like there was Loctite on there. Still see through it, but we're going to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. These come out fairly easy. Ultrasonic cleaner for that too. So grab your pick tool and take off all these O-rings. Oh yeah, you can tell they're brittle, they're hard, they're no good, so good that we replaced this. I wasn't almost gonna do this because the piston looked so good, but better safe than sorry, so. Alright guys, so we're gonna get this ready and take it over to Andy Wells at Wells MotoWorx. He's gonna vapor blast all this stuff and get it cleaned up for us. And I'm going to take you over there and show you how he does it. You'll get to meet Andy and see the process. So if you want this done, you call Andy and he can do it for you. Alright, so let's get these parts loaded up and we'll take them over. Alright, so we made it to Andy's house. This is Andy. He's with Wells MotoWorx. Andy, introduce yourself. What do you all do in your shop here?
Hello, so we're just a small family-run power sports business. Main focus being on motorcycles because that's where the true passion is. But we do take in everything else from ATVs, side-by-sides, the occasional lawn equipment if needed, and also some marine stuff. But as I say, bikes are the main passion, and the bigger builds, the restorations, the restores, that's what really gets me interested. So yeah, hopefully you like the process and I answered any questions which you do have, and yeah, should be a good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, so let's get into it. Alright, Andy's took a little break here. Let's have a look. Look at that thing, just shiny. Yeah, look at that. Like half, like look at that part from what it went to and what it is.
And what was that? It's probably about 7 minutes.
Yeah,
on the cylinder.
Awesome, look at that, that's awesome.
So there's still a few areas which we've missed. So just on the inside of the ejector here, we've got a couple on the back side of here. So what I normally do is I'll go around with a Sharpie and then just draw a circle around the area which has still got issues which need to be hit, and then go back, and then once the Sharpie's disappeared, in theory you know that you've hit that area and it should be all good and you can move on to the next step.
Perfect.
So, looking pretty good. One little spot just here.
Look at that.
We'll be getting that with the next pass when we drop the PSIs. So.
Damn, I'm excited.
Yeah. And with this cylinder, actually it looks better than new.
It does, yeah.
So because it's not that dull, dusty looking finish.
Yeah. No, that's.
So, and once it's dry as well, then the shine will really pop. This one's just had a fresh rebuild at another dealership prior to the new owner purchasing it. So we can't justify taking that apart again just to vapor blast it. So, but we have vapor blasted the chassis and everything around it.